Rosko has some. If you're not familiar with the Rosko hot dog saga, Rosko was the home of the preacher dog, and then all of a sudden all kinds of bad things started happening to him. And most recently is that he can't do business in the city of Hammond. Now, he can do business in the city of Hammond. That is not 100% accurate. What is 100% accurate is that the city of Hammond is making it very, very difficult for Rosko to do business in the city. So he's moved to Gary. And I don't know what all those issues are, exactly what the ordinance, how it reads. But Rosko got some television coverage this morning from CBS Channel 2 in Chicago. And he's going to tell us about it tonight, somewhere around 4:35 or so. We'll try and juggle if we get that phone call, which we're watching for. Why is this fan blowing right in my face?
It's usually how you like it.
No, that's usually how people who are wanting pneumonia like it. So we'll hear from Rosko. We're hoping to hear from the Reverend Cheryl Rivera, who is leading the walkout tomorrow. Students are walking out of school tomorrow in East Chicago.
You know, some things I don't get.
It's political, man. Come on.
Business is terrible across the world, and they won't let this poor guy with a hot dog stand make a buck.
Yeah, and he doesn't.
Schools are failing, and they're going to walk kids out of them. What's up?
I don't know why they're bothering.
Is this Armageddon?
Now let me speculate a couple of possibilities here. One, Rosko's connection to the preacher. Usually any connection to me,
help.
And I'm not. And people say that preacher thinks way too much of himself. I've seen it enough times in the last 5 years for sure that people who are even vaguely connected to me end up having freaking problems.
I'll go to Freddie.
I can't help it. It's the reality. If you don't want me saying it on the air, then please stop hassling people that affiliate with me.
Absolutely.
Because it just can't be a coincidence. All these people are not bad people. In fact, all of them are really good people, but they keep getting the business. Now, the other thing is the charter school is opening up, and Rosko was right down the street from the charter school who doesn't have a kitchen. They have places to sit,
I see.
but no place to cook food.
Isn't that where the buddy of somebody has a catering business, like right around the corner or something?
Down in the federal courthouse.
Somebody knows somebody that has a catering business right there.
Yeah, they're letting a chef operate down in the basement, and he's
so we don't build a kitchen in our school.
Well, exactly. We're not going to cook any food. We're going to cater it. Now, I don't know if he's got the contract yet. The ex-chef, I call him ex-chef. I don't know if he actually has the contract yet, but I'll go out on a limb and say I'm very surprised if he doesn't. If he's not serving the meals over there, then I'm going to be surprised.
Now, let me ask you this. If the brother-in-law or somebody had a Johnny on the job business, a Porta John business, would they have left the bathrooms out of the charter school?
No, possibly. It reminds me of an episode of the Andy Griffith Show where Bert, the door-to-door salesman who had a suitcase lugging it around, Andy set him up with a little shop on the street, and old Ben Weaver, old Ben Weaver from Weaver's Department Store, got all upset about it because Bert might have been taking a little bit of action away from him. Ultimately, it had a happy ending because Weaver hired Bert at the end.
Yes.
So I'm not an advocate for these things.
You're going to hire Rosko?
Yeah, hire Rosko
to make hot dogs for the kids.
He could do other things. Let's go to downtown Hammond. It's Rosko on line 6. Hey, Rosko.
Hey, Breach, how you doing? I hear you're looking for me. I'm listening to you on your radio, and I wanted to let you guys know that I had Channel 2 news lady on interviewing me today about my issues with the City of Hammond in regards to my hot dog business.
Did you catch her name?
Yeah, her name is Pam Jones.
I'm familiar with Pam Jones.
Yeah, I'll be on the air. I'll be on the air tomorrow at the 4:30 news for about a minute and a half or whatever time she gives me.
Okay, can you bring us up to date? Because I only know bits and pieces about your situation. I know you got a hot dog stand. I know for a while you were home with a preacher dog.
Yeah.
Now my dog.
I don't know if that made it any better, but anyway.
my dog has no home anymore.
I think it made it worse if you want to know the truth.
I don't know all the details. So tell us, give us the Reader's Digest version of your situation with the City of Hammond.
Okay, back in 2003, I retired from the steel mill, Inland Steel, and I figured, well, I'm only 49 years old, and I wanted to continue on doing something that I really like to do. So I started this little hot dog cart business, and I also sell funnel cakes and things throughout the city, and been doing my hot dog little cart business since 2003. Now, since I've been doing it on and off, I feel like I've been getting harassed and stuff, but I've been dealing with them issues. But recently, this year especially, I really feel like I'm really being harassed and just run out of town as far as selling my hot dogs.
Now, is there a new ordinance on the books now that is given?
Yes, there is a new ordinance.
Okay, tell me what you know.
The new ordinance is number 9098. Was created by sponsored by the first district councilman. I don't know what his name is.
Al Salinas?
No, first district.
Oh, first district. Mark Kowinski.
Yeah, it starts with a K and it ends with an SKI.
Yeah, Mark Kowinski. I know.
Okay, well, whatever. Anyway, he's the one that sponsored this new ordinance that they come up with. And as far as I'm concerned, what this ordinance does to my business, my small business, my legally small business, is basically run me out of town. Okay. I could address exactly what the ordinance is telling me to do. I still can do it. I can still sell hot dogs in the city of Hammond if I abide by these ordinances.
And what is it? What is it that's prevent? I mean, if you abide by the ordinances, will you sell any hot dogs?
No.
Okay,
no.
Tell us why.
I could. But the new ordinance states I've got to be mobile. Their definition of mobile is being I have to move like an ice cream truck, which is impossible for me to do because I have a steam table in there, I have propane in there in my little hot dog cart, and if I keep moving like an ice cream truck, it's going to create the water to fly all over, and my propane tanks are lit, and I got the gas going, and it creates an unsafe condition for me. Another issue is the 200-foot away from an intersection rule that they come up with, which basically tells me I can't sell hot dogs in Hammond because there's no intersection that is farther than 200 feet away from an intersection in the city of Hammond. There's nowhere to sell. You understand?
Yeah, they're giving you the business.
Oh man!
And then they just keep running me around. I have a yearly license. I've had a yearly license since 2003, and a yearly license to me means yearly. But the new ordinance states a yearly license is only good for 15 days in a calendar year. I don't understand what. Anyway, I'm running a legally. There's other issues that I don't have in front of me, but I could go on and on with my issues.
Okay, Rosko, have you tried to either contact the mayor, the city, the council, any kind of?
Yes, I have. I've contacted the controller's office on this issue just before this ordinance was passed because I had some other issues with it, and they were never resolved.
Did you try? Wait, Rosko.
Mayor's office 4 times.
How and what method did you choose to try and contact the mayor's office?
The first one I did. I typed out a letter explaining my issues with the mayor and told him what I felt why I felt it was wrong and stuff. I hand delivered it to the mayor's office and slipped it underneath the window that they have there, so to make sure that the mayor would get it, So a week later, I call on to see how if anybody read my issues, and the chief of staff calls me back and tells me the letter has been misplaced to resubmit it. I said, "Oh my goodness, I didn't believe it." But anyway, if I was a Walmart, they wouldn't misplace it. I don't think. But anyway,
all right.
Well. But since I'm and so I resubmitted it, and then a couple of weeks later, I called back again because they never addressed the issue, and I wanted to get this issue resolved. And they just gave me the runaround. I have to go by the ordinance, and that's the law, and that's and this and that. And
okay, well, let me ask you. We're getting like a little bit off of where I want to be. Let me just try and steer you. Your stand, and we're not talking about a cart here. You have a truck that's fully operational. It's a food truck.
I have both a food truck and a hot dog cart.
Okay, the food truck, let's concentrate on that. That was located where?
Throughout Hammond. I do business at downtown area on Sibley Street, across the street from the Strachan Van Tills. And first I was located inside that old Walgreens parking lot that evidently belongs to the city. And I was sitting in there for 4 years, no problem. And then this past couple months, they told me I have to get off this property because it belongs to the city and I don't have permission to be on the city property. And then I was told, I said, well, where do you want me to go? They told me to go, I could sell my hot dogs.
Wait a second, who is they? Let's be specific.
The police department, Hammond Police Department.
Okay, so the Hammond Black and Whites pulled up on your truck and said, hey, you gotta move it there, Bert.
I got to get off of the city property because it belongs to the city, and I don't have any permission to be on the city. And I thought to myself, well, first of all, I lived in Hammond all my life, and I felt it was part of mine too. I kept it all maintained. I kept the grass cut for them. I picked up all the litter for them, and evidently that was not good enough for them.
Okay, so then the ordinance, and I have to check on this a little further and find out what the vote was, when they voted on it and all that. If they passed it as an ordinance, that means the council supported this change for whatever reason.
Well, an ordinance is created by the city council and then approved by the city council, and then it goes to the mayor's office for final approval or veto. So evidently, to be honest with me, it falls in the mayor's hand. Is that correct?
Well, I'm going to disagree to some extent. He could veto it, I suppose, and then it would have to go back for a supermajority to pass. But that's my understanding of it. But I could be wrong.
First, it was agreed upon that. First, it was stated it would be 30 days in a calendar year, and then the mayor vetoed it or said no good. I'm not going to sign it unless it's 15 days. So evidently, it turned into a 15-day thing. Okay. I could only sell my product 15 days in the calendar year. Which what
do you mean? You can only vend 15 days out of a year?
Yes. If you have a yearly, this new ordinance.
That doesn't make sense. If you have a
15-day, if you have a yearly permit, it's only good for 15 days in a calendar year. So I'm only allowed to do it 15 days a year, which I can't do because
wait a
I'm
second.
Is
this related somehow to the rummage yard sale, garage sale ordinance?
It was the same thing in the Hammond Times. It was, but when they posted it, the one-day garage sale a year, it was the same article. Need to change ordinance on the garage sales and the mobile food vendor.
Okay, well, there are a couple of Hammond City Council members that do talk to me, and I feel as though they've always been very, very straight and honest to me. So I'm going to try and talk to them, and just so I can get an understanding, and then we will look for your shot tomorrow on CBS Channel 2 News, man. Sounds pretty cool.
Could I address one more issue?
Yeah, giddy up.
One more? Okay. I want to, if I can't do it, I'm just wondering, today I just drove around the city to see what's going on because I have issues with, there's other street vendors doing it and I can't do it. Today, I went to the Briar East grocery store over by the Hessville there. There's a corn guy over there selling corn. I went over to the village today on 169th, the village discount store. There's a corn guy over there today.
169th. Wait a second. Hold on, Rosko.
Yes.
You mean 165th?
Yes, I'm sorry.
Okay, 165th.
There's a corn guy still sitting there, and they said they would address that issue. And what they did, in fact, was they got rid of the corn guy, and they moved to the pick and pull the next day, which is right down the street. Now, who do you think? I'm so frustrated with this whole issue. Now they have 3 corn guys. They got one at pick and pull, one at the village discount store, and one at the Save-A-Lot, Briar Ridge grocery complex, whatever it is.
That's Briar. Yeah, that's the old Briar East, the Brook Forest apartment complex.
Right. Now there's 3 of them today. 3. Now tell me there's not something wrong somewhere, Preach. Am I missing something?
I don't know. Sounds crazy to me, but maybe this television coverage and what coverage you're getting on JOB will maybe help you.
I'm not just bringing this issue up for my own little business. I'm bringing it up for all little businesses around in this area because what they're doing to the small business person, I don't feel is fair. I listened to the President of the United States talking about the small business person, and and it just frustrates me what I'm going through.
And Roscoe, you're a veteran, isn't that correct?
Yes, I am. I'm a disabled Vietnam veteran, Purple Heart. I fought for this country, and now I got to fight for my small business.
And a resident of Hammond for how long?
Most of my life. I'm 60 years old now.
10-4. All right, buddy. Best of luck to you, and keep us informed as you hit down the road.
Okay. Thanks, you.
Man.
Take care.
Make me a preacher dog, would you?
Yeah, right. $2,000 fine.
Okay, thanks a lot.
Every day I sell a hot dog, it's a $2,000 fine.
That's one expensive hot dog.
Well, that's the most expensive preacher dog I ever heard.
Yeah, but it's worth every.
I wonder why he's not grandfathered in.
Well,
after having been doing this,
they're giving him the business. That's why.